them awake because they have so much to do here, making sure that no more embers fly off of this area and burn something else. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Turkish coffee.
Yeah.
That'll do it to keep them awake, all right?
That'll help, huh?
There we go.
All right, NBC4's Andrew Crouch is live there in Porto Ranch, where homes obviously have been destroyed. We've been reporting on this all afternoon long. Angie.
That's right, we're on Darby Avenue, where last night, in the middle of the night, hotspots, flames were just hopscotching around Darby Avenue, going from yard to yard. Some of the backyards were scorched. Take a look across the street, though. You can see that's the home of Manuel Solis. The homes across the street are just fine, but if you just come across the street here, you can see this is the home of Jerry and Maria DeMurci, and it was completely destroyed. The fire department just returned to put out a couple of hotspots. And
separating the truth from the lies, coming at you from underneath the Newton, Georgia climate-engineered sky. About to receive a Friday dose of the shock treatment. Didn't plan on doing one, but this is too important not to address. This is courtesy of Jamie Lee of A Plain Truth. He didn't write the article, but he's posting a lot of important information. Check out A Plain Truth for You and A Plain Truth Tree on CommuTube. I meant YouTube. Electric car owners hard hit by massive California power shutdown. Tesla's Elon Musk promises battery and solar solutions for the many EV owners who can't charge their cars. This is what happens when you become too dependent on the grid, the electric grid. All they got to do is pull the plug. All they got to do is have a false flag, anybody? Possibly an EMP, knocking out all the electricity. Electricity. Oh, how we depend on electricity. I'm thinking about, I'll just say this. If you see me with a long beard, I'm in a horse and buggy, and a hat on, top hat type thing, you know I went Amish on you. Because I think they're onto something big time. As you take a look at live footage at the top left of the screen, we'll take a look at the sudden fire in California. The agenda's in full swing. Jamie Lee, A Plain Truth Tree, A Plain Truth 2, Plain Truth for You, Plain Truth, A Plain Truth. They took down 2 of his channels, but he had all of them up and running. He still has A Plain Truth 3 and A Plain Truth for You up. He did a fantastic, unbelievable expose, mini-series, documentary, a series of just videos showing and outlining, showing how they could start these fires using directed energy, nanotechnology for the fires. And people kept saying the fires acted like they had a mind of their own. Geo, I wonder how they pulled that one off. On top of the chemtrails that have surfactants, drying vegetation out. And now this one. The agenda's in full swing. If they could pull it off in California, they could pull it off anywhere. The testing ground is California. Just like if you look at, you buy certain products and it says known to cause a C word that rhymes with answer in California. That's because that's the testing ground, folks. And then it's the push for this to happen nationwide, pushing everybody into these compact, smart cities. Smart for them, dumb for you, hurting you like a sheeple, for burning you out. They're going to use technology. For whatever it is that your area is prone to, be it tornadoes, flooding, earthquakes, fires, that's what they'll use against the population. And this is in full swing. 100,000 forced to flee, and 1 million Californians who depend on electric cars are now without their cars. And it says here that without power, as the electric company, I think it's PG&E, deliberately shut it off, fearing high winds would spark fire. Well, if high winds would spark fire, I mean, that's a new one on me. Since when does a wind start a fire? High winds. I don't know, that's not adding up, that's not computing with me. So the affected area is in Northern California, and as you can see right there, home of Tesla. And Elon Musk, it says, is swapping in battery power packs and solar for superchargers in the region as fast as he can get permits, he claims on Twitter. Nature built California to burn, this article says. Is that so? Or is it directed energy? Is it part of agenda? Agenda 21 or 2030. Put them in compact cities. Burn them out of the suburbs. All right? Like they did in California. Paradise. No, nature didn't build California to burn. That's what we have the government for. That's what we have the Luciferian beast system for. It's all about destruction. It's all about pillage and plunder and looting. And you see here, PG&E. I don't know. It depends who you listen to is part of the problem. I mean, high winds are coming, so you shut off the power grid. Let me ask you something. The hurricanes pack high winds. Does a electric company shut off the power ahead of time? I never heard of such a thing in my life. But all Tesla supercharge stations in the regions affected by California power outages will have Tesla. This all is part. First of all, why in the world would you want an electric car? You're probably getting radiated like nobody's business in those electric car. You're actually in an electric coffin, and you're waiting on and depending on electric to take you to and fro. I mean, I guess we're dependent on a lot of things, gas, but at least with gas you could store it up. You can't really store up electricity to charge your car, can you? I guess if you had a generator. This is part of the problem. Too reliant on the system. And when I mentioned Jamie Lee of A Plain Truth for You and A Plain Truth Tree, he's an author. Very, very well researched. He knows what he's talking about. He did this excellent. Take a look at this. Go look it up. Paradise Lost. The Great California Fire Chronicles. Remember that last year? And now they're starting it all over again in a different part of California. And on top of that, with PG&E shutting down in Northern California, the mobile and internet service falters. So there's a host of problems that go along with shutting down the power grid in an effort to what? Make sure that the winds don't start a fire. Well, what the hell am I seeing right here? All right? So shutting it down to prevent a fire that already started. Okay. I got a question. If they shut down the electric before the winds picked up, why do we have a fire then? I don't know. Maybe I'm out of the loop. Because I've been scattered, covered, and smothered with a lot of other stuff I've been doing in videos-wise and living life that maybe I'm missing something somewhere around here about this. At any rate. So if they're shutting off the power, and people without their phones, they're without transportation, a million of them, without transportation because they rely on electric cars, and the internet service falters. Well, isn't that convenient? So nobody knows what the hell's going on. How are they staying informed in the areas where the fire hasn't hit and where they haven't fled yet? Oh, nice. More stuff in the air. Nice, nice. Putting that down to more poison to get in the environment. It's the chemtrails aren't bad enough, right? Unbelievable. And you can see people reporting on Jamie Lee's page, long lines at the gas pump, gas nearly $5 a gallon, store shelves running out of water. Utter chaos, it sounds like. That's what it sounds like to me. Let's take a look at some of this imagery here. Look at this. Look at that, huh? As you look at it at the top of the screen, right here, you see right here, they're posting on his page. Unbelievable. Now, I'm just getting my feet wet on this topic here of this fire. So, I'm just curious, is it the directed energy? I mean, is it just the buildings, like just the structures that are being burned and the vegetation left alone, like in Paradise? Or are they playing it at a different angle this time? Take a look. Take a look. If they want to flood you out, they'll flood you out. If they want to burn you out, that's what they'll do. Because as long as people think that this stuff isn't true and isn't happening, I mean, if they think this stuff is all natural, not orchestrated, that it just happened to catch on fire, just like that, burning people out of their homes, just like that, in California all the time, you got another thing coming. You got another thing coming. These are horrific scenes right here. Do you see it? Do you see it? Let's take a look at this. Let's see, Sandalwood fire near Calamasa, California started October 10th, approximately 1:58 p.m. 500 acres burned, I guess, real quickly, 0% contained at the time of this report. Multiple structures destroyed, numerous medical emergencies inside the Villa Camisa mobile home park. Oh, mobile home park. Those always seem to be the targets. Have you ever noticed that, especially in Coweta County and around here? For years, we wondered why the trail parks always got hit by tornadoes. Now it's not so far-fetched that they can actually guide these things, just like they do with the hurricanes. All right? Here's another horrific scene, as reported by Mr. Scott Biddle. Unfreaking believable. So when I'm looking over here, I see, it looks to me like the trees over here, in the vegetation, all untouched, but the cars and the homes ravaged. Kind of reminds me of another fire last year. This says here, PG&E power shutdown areas. All this? That's a huge part. Is it all this? Because that's a huge part of the state. That's a lot of that's a lot of real estate. Unbelievable, man, what they're doing. This thing right here looks like a monster. But take a look at this. Take a look at this. Laser. High energy laser. I guess shooting high energy laser beams. Beam control system. Telescope. Acquisition radar. Test crew stations. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? At any rate. And what do we have here? A simulated reserve and corridor system to protect biodiversity as required by the UN Convention on Biological Diversity, Wildlands Project, UN and U.S. Man and Biosphere Programs, and World Heritage Program as a vital step in attaining sustainable development. Translation. What does that translate, folks? Burn your A out of your home, out of your town, flood you out, and put you in a compact city? Is that what this is about? If my memory serves me correctly. They tell you what they're going to do ahead of time, but you know what? The sheeple are still asleep. They don't believe this is true. They don't believe this can happen or is happening. And for further proof, all you got to do is go to PG&E number. This is Deborah Tavares of StopTheCrime.net. She does excellent work also on getting to the bottom of the matter, of the truth. This is a sound clip talking about what they're doing out there. See if it's going to load.
I'm Mike Lewis, host of Ground Zero. First of all, I want to thank you for listening to this podcast. Second, you may be wondering why I'm speaking to you before the podcast begins. The answer is simple. I need your help. For nearly 25 years, Ground Zero has presented shows and we have offered them for free. And this will continue. However, as many of you may or may not know, I've announced recently that financially the show has fallen on hard times. After 3 months of being independent.
All right, well, he's talking about needing to raise money at the beginning of his broadcast, but Deborah Tavares is on this later on. You could go find this on StopTheCrime.net. It says SoundCloud.com. StopTheCrime.net on Comatube. Just go look it up. I got notified of this last night, and this is hard hitting. Perhaps I'll have Jamie Lee be a guest on the shock treatment. This is just a clip from his A Plain Truth for You. He can better explain why they shut the power off.
Why is that important? Because it's all part of a much bigger picture to get everybody off of natural gas, to get everybody off petrol fuel for cars, the petrodollar, crash the petrodollar, convert it to the cryptocurrency, the new $100 bill, half of it's in gold. Cursive writing in the background says we're going to get rid of the government, to abolish government. It's in writing on the new $100 bill if you take a look at it. They're not just playing the power game off with California here. Here you see millions, I think it was a number of 7 million people were left in the dark as a massive power cut hits Taiwan. This is a worldwide event they're doing now to get us off the power grid and get us onto a radio frequency, laser delivered, solar collective power grid coming from high altitude platforms where you'll have no way to stop them, no way to turn off or turn on the power unless you submit to eye scans, to vaccines, to anything they decide. If you don't know where your power comes from, if you don't know where your water comes from, if you don't know where your food comes from, as George Carlin says.
What about the real owners now? The big, the wealthy, the real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. They're irrelevant. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media news, all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions.
Yes, they do, because we're beholden to the system. And here they have the LeMay papers. This is 2018, the Electromagnetic Defense Task Force. They can turn off the power with electromagnetic pulses and shut down the power that way. But they're doing it in your face. We're turning off your power because the winds. And if you know about General Bombamal LeMay, he's the one that carpet bombed all of Tokyo and Japan, killed 100,000 people in one night of mass destruction, and look at all the medals he got for it. USA, the greatest killing machine ever.
And then there's this, November 3rd. Is Seattle next? I mean, according to this video that Jamie Lee of Plain Truth for You uploaded, that someone else did, and he put it on his channel, and I'm sharing it with you now. A false flag attack on Seattle on November 3rd, 2019. Predictive programming, anybody? For years, apparently, according to this video, it's been put in movies. Constantly saying Seattle's going to
assume that a stage
Take a listen.
attack will happen in Seattle on November the 3rd, 2019. That will kill thousands of people. I know that this theory sounds absolutely crazy, but it cannot be a coincidence that for many years all the media have hinted that an attack is taking place in Seattle. It is not the first time that all media announced a staged attack in advance. Many years before the staged terrorist attacks in New York, the collapse of the Twin Towers was announced in all media. There are thousands of examples and hints. In order to show all the hints to the collapse of the Twin Towers, which were placed in the media before 9/11, I would have to create a 10-hour video. Such large staged attacks can only be realized with secret agreements. The biggest secret society in existence is the Freemasons. They have millions of members worldwide. But this video is not about 9/11, but about the attack in Seattle. This is the city's most famous landmark, the Space Needle. Due to the many hints to the football stadium or the football game, it is assumed that during the football game, the attack takes place. Here is the football stadium, the Century Field Link. In the course of the video, I will show you many film clips and other references that relate to Seattle. Let's start with the movie Chaos is Seattle, Washington.
Let's go around the horn. Check.
This building looks like the Space Needle. And right in the next scene, we see a detective looking at his watch. And where the watch hands are pointing, 11:03, November the 3rd.
And the same sheeple that think that this stuff isn't real, that they can't burn you out of your town, burn you out of your home. What about smart meters, for instance? Can't those get juiced up and amped up and burn you out? And it's connected to your other smart appliances? Oh, the refrigerator just suddenly went on fire. Are you conservative? Are you a Christian? Are you concerned? The sheeple aren't. The sheeple think all this is a joke, including the chemtrails. I mean, what is it going to take to wake them up? Maybe their asses need to get burned out of their homes or flooded out before, and then maybe then they'll wake up and start putting it two and two together when it's too late. Unbelievable. I'm watching them chemtrail right there. You see it. Right here in Noonan, Georgia, under the chemtrailed sky. They chemtrailed the heck out of us guys, but the sheeple naysay everything. Oh, what is it going to take to wake them up? Get your soul right with Jesus. It's getting real. It's getting really crazy out there. Give your soul to Jesus. Until next time, we'll see you on the shock treatment.